Would you be able to? I doubt it. So now we're into part 3. And looking at this, what people never talk about is that angle. And that perfect line that's there and the depictions that's going on. And something happened and something came from Taurus and it all died. And I can see flavors of this concept seen in the Mithra exhibit, where instead of duck-faced man dying with a boner, he's actually a Phrygian capped guy stabbing it in the shoulder in the same area that the Pleiades seem to emanate from. They're not actually coming from there, but that's what's in front of us whenever we go down the road and run into the gnat storm or bug storm and get to see all this stuff happen. And hey, I thought about whenever I was younger, one of the coolest things we could do, this was right before the bicentennial, 1976, because we'd watched a couple of meteor storms and so on, and I thought, what if they were to make a bunch of like copper balls that are all the size of like golf balls, and they were to put them in some rocket, shoot them up in there and cast them out, and then they would slowly fall back and then rain into Earth, and they would make part of the great fireworks display would be something that came out of space. They could even do something that's more, pea-sized, almost a BB size of dust of certain elements, so you get certain colors and things like that out of it. They could even have done some little effect and checked it out if they could make and put something inside the copper ball, so once it gets to a heat to a certain point, it was to brighten up or explode or do something like that, and you'd basically be able to see it all across North America or something like that. I mean, cool as hell. Try to recreate the flag some way or something like that. I doubt you could pull off something that looked like a star shape or a flag really with lines of all of this stuff, but something neat. Indeed, the earliest accepted example of figurative art, the 40,000-year-old Lion Man of Hallenstadt Cave, obeys this zodiacal system. In case the sculpture likely resembles the constellation of Cancer on the winter solstice at that time. And so they're saying, well, Cancer is that, and it's the opposite of Leo, so then this would represent that, or coming into Leo, if you will, or something along that line. But it does show you that. But in animism, that a lot of people have said, there's that giant lion in the north in those days, and these people are well of that. It's the king of the beasts, and this is the first symbology of that master of beasts concept and animism that we find very little of, but it's 40,000 years old and well carved, and as rotted away as it is, you can imagine it was made pretty well. This is Batman or Panther Man, Lion Man, Lion-O, back in those dates. All this evidence and more is summarized in my recent book, Prehistory Decoded. So this guy wrote a book too now. As well as piecing this evidence together to create a coherent picture of the last 40,000 years, I also show that it relates to the origin of civilization, the origin of religion, and the true ages of the Great Sphinx. Might be something worth a damn read for sure. People have often depended about the bands that are on his arms and do those symbol the waves of the moon that go through a full year, and here they are, people coming through 40,000 years ago in the last time that we went through Leo. Not the one that's just here recently, but 29,000 years before that. And another one. Martin Sweatman is the author of Prehistory Decoded, and it doesn't tell more about the author, but he said that he's part of this group supposedly, or maybe he's including himself, like I talk about researchers have, and I research, so I'm one of them. No, I'm not part of this research group, but it seems that he is. But this Younger Dryas boundary level has really shown us that something had went on, and I think we ought to pay attention to it. Better yet, I think we ought to do something about the possibility of it happening again. And whatever we're doing now, let's go with twice that amount, and twice that amount of respect and realization, and see what we get out of that in the next 10 years and see where we need to go from there. Like put something in space that can do things and send some probe to an asteroid that can do something and push on an asteroid. Do we want to push it? Do we want to push it into the sun? Do we want to make sure when we're pushing it that we're pushing it to a place that it's never going to run into Earth again? It's going to be on a different plane. Do we want to just go ahead and send it out of the solar system so it never comes back? We'll put an ion thruster on there and have it pushed to the right so it doesn't try to curl and come back. Like say if it's this picture and it curls and comes back, and we put it on here and make it just blast and it doesn't get to turn and slow down and come back, but it just keeps going, and that blaster keeps going and going and going. I don't know. Get it up to good enough speed and it just leaves. There's a lot of things we could do, but doing nothing is not good. For nothing is the bane of all existence. So complacency and sitting around and doing nothing waits on the nothing. And so it brings the nothing. And if you're going to sit around with your thumb up your butt, you're actually flipping off the nothing as it heads towards you. In some sense, it's just doesn't make common sense to me. And oh, well, too many people are involved with too many and global warming, and we've talked about global warming recently. Y'all can shove that up your ass. Let's talk about something that actually did happen and see if it's going to happen again. And let's already do something about if. So if we find out if, we've got the solution. If we wait to the point we see it's coming, we won't have enough time to do the correct solution. Hello. Who's there? Reality. He's not home. Dave's not here. You ever heard that one? No, man. I'm Dave. Peace.